Good morning, we've got Machaela and Abby today. We are going to do a first impression of the new E.l.F. Mint collection. I picked up 4 of the items. I picked up the E.l.F. Cooling Face Primer. This retails for $8. The No Budge eyeshadow stick in the shade Mint Melt, I believe is the shade name on this. And then I picked up the two quads. These retail for $4 a piece. They're little bite-sized quads. However, I'm not entirely sure why these retail for $4 versus only $3 like the other ones. I've heard it's because of the mint packaging, which for me personally, I would just say go with the regular packaging and just retail it for $3. I mean, either way, $4 is not bad, and the color story looks absolutely stunning. And by the way, this retails for $5 a piece. I just picked up the one. But yeah, let's go ahead and do a first impression and little tutorial. My skincare is done, my eye primer's on, my brows are done. So let's just go in with the cooling face primer. I normally don't do these on my channel, but I figured I got quite a bit from the collection, so why not? But let's see what this looks like. I'll turn my hand around and... Okay, that was a little... This is kind of what it looks like. It's kind of cute, actually. I kind of like it. So it says the directions say apply evenly to face in makeup application and then wait 30 seconds. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I've heard warm it up in your hands first, but I'm just going to apply it like I normally apply a face primer. Yeah, it does actually smell like mint, which... I would expect it to. I mean, it's not overwhelming though. Yeah, so it says to wait 30 seconds. Honestly, I could probably go in with another pump, but I think I'm gonna just let this sit because I have a love-hate relationship with tacky primers. It's definitely more of a tacky one, but I think that if you maybe do like half a pump or just a single pump, it doesn't feel too overwhelming, which is kind of nice. So next let's go ahead and go in. I think I'm going to use the mint to be quad today, and then I'll use this one in a separate tutorial. But I'm going to go ahead and swatch these real quick for you guys. Alright, so swatches are a little bit crazy. This side is the first palette here. This side is the chocolate mint palette. Overall, I feel like the swatches are good. I feel like they could be better. Probably something I might have to build up, which is never a bad thing. I feel like the chocolate mint is a little bit more pigmented than this one, but let's go ahead and see how they perform on the eyes. Again, my eyes are already primed and set. I'm going to use this palette today, and I think I'm going to go ahead and just kind of do like a classic, something I would normally do when I'm playing around with the palette, but I'm going to go in with this first shade here on a Luxie 205 brush, and I'm just going to put that in the crease, and then, yeah, I mean, it's showing up. I definitely feel like it needs to be built up, but this actually makes a really good first transition shade. So... yeah, I mean, it seems to be doing good. I know pastels are actually pretty hard to formulate and work with, so the fact that you have to build it up a little bit, I mean, for me, I got ridiculously high standards for things, so I expect like all the pigment right here and right now. But if we're really realistically looking at this shade, I feel like it's definitely doing what it's supposed to be doing. I definitely like my transition shades to be a little bit on the lighter side, so it does make a perfect transition shade, or even an all over lid shade if you wanted to like do that all over the lid and then add a pop of color on top. However, I do want to play around with the shadow stick. I'm going in with this Morphe tapered blending brush. I'm going to go ahead and take this last shade here and just kind of build that into my outer corner of my eye, and then diffusing that. Now that is pigmented. That's definitely a pigmented shadow. Yeah, that's actually very, very pigmented. I feel like I can get a very good blend here between the transition shade and this shade. Kids are just playing in the background. They're having fun. But yeah, that's actually, yeah, I kind of like that. That's very pretty. I love how this screen is in stark contrast to this screen, just because it gives the look a little bit more of a defined look. I don't have my foundation on or anything, so I will. I am kind of looking for fallout. I mean, it's a little bit powdery in the pan, but again, nothing that I'm overly concerned about personally. I mean, here's the thing: when the more powder and kick up that they have in the pan, the better the blend. So it's kind of like you either get a good blend and a lot of powder, or an okay blend and not a lot of kick up. I haven't really, at least in my experience, you don't really see a whole lot that's, you can get pigment and stuff, but the blend's not as seamless. So, I mean, this is actually, it's blending out quite nicely. Alright, let's go ahead and go in with this shadow stick. Oh, I forgot to swatch the shadow stick. I totally forgot. Here, let me swatch it real quick. It's just a nice matte shadow stick. I don't know why I completely forgot to swatch it when I swatched everything else. But let's go ahead, and I'm just going to put that all over the lid as if I am doing a kind of a cut crease type situation. And hopefully this is a no budge, so hopefully it lasts well throughout the day. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing or not. But yeah, and then I'm just going to take a flat brush and kind of blend it out. But so far it's looking pretty good. Let me see. So far, I mean, I'm definitely liking it. And by the way, this primer is setting down nicely, by the way. It's kind of, it still got some tackiness, but it lost its, like, sticky feeling, which I am happy for. Actually, it's a lot less tacky than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be, like, uncomfortably tacky, and it's not. I mean, if you cannot stand tackiness at all, you're probably not going to like this. But coming from someone who doesn't like a huge tacky primer, I actually don't mind it at all. And, like, it's not, like, it feels refreshing, but it's not, like, overwhelmingly insane. So, alright, that's on. I'm going to go back and just kind of blend. Come back in with that transition shade and just blend around it just to keep the look nice and seamless. And again with the green, just kind of, because I do want that green to blend in nicely with the other shades I'm going to place. You know what, let's go ahead. I was going to use my finger originally and only my finger, but let's go ahead and just see how they apply with the brush. I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this on the outer part of my lid, and then I'm going to put this one on the inner corner. So, see, that's pretty. Got my mirror right here. That's actually laying really nicely on top. That's actually really pretty. Alright, let's actually just go in with the finger to see how much more pigment we can get. Overall, so far with the brush, not bad. I mean, you can even wet the brush for even more pigment, but personally, I like the finger. Yeah, I definitely like the finger better. I mean, it's not bad with a brush if you're wanting something a little bit more subtle, but because I prefer something a little bit more intense when I am using shimmer, I prefer to go with my finger. I mean, personal preference right there, but if I want a subtle look, I'm going to go more all matte. But yeah, that's really pretty. Alright, going in with this shade here, I'm just going to go in with my finger. And then I'm going to place that on the inner corner. Ooh, that's gorgeous. That's super pretty. That's really pretty. I'll just go in with the brush and just kind of fix the detailing on it a little bit. But yeah, definitely some kick up. I mean, not the worst I've seen, but not the best. And just, again, going back in, just kind of blending that all together. And then just taking that, just kind of tapping it over. Just getting that blend nice and seamless. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do my foundation and stuff off camera, and I'll come back because I'm thinking I want to use this as a highlight today. The rest of the face is on, short of highlighter. I'm just going to go in with a flat brush and go in with the darkest shade over here. and just smoke out the lower lash line. I'm not going to do anything too crazy with it, but I'm just going to go ahead and smoke that out. Yes, I have my baby in my hand. If I look a little awkward, that's why. Again, just part of mom life. Just going to work around it. But yeah, I don't typically like doing a whole lot on the lower lash line, just enough to kind of round out the eye a little bit and give it the shape I want. I'm going to go back in with this shade here and just kind of really highlight that inner corner there and put that on. Alright, and for highlight, I am going to go in with this shade on a highlighter brush and just see how that works. I'm not a huge fan of color highlights, but we'll see. And that is a very intense stripe. I think I'm going to take that down on my blush and try and blend that in a little bit. Yeah, maybe not the best choice for a highlighter. I guess I probably should have used a fan brush versus like an intense highlighting brush, but we're just going to go ahead and keep going for it. But yeah, I probably, that was a bad idea. I would not recommend that as a highlighter. But since we're here, I'm just going to take whatever's left on my blush brush and just try and really blend that in. Thinking of the swatch, you know, speaking of the swatches, I didn't think it would be as intense as I thought it would, but yeah. Alright, well, that's what we got to work with today. If you like an intense green highlighter, this might work. I think a fan brush would be a lot better if you wanted to use that as a highlight. But overall, I mean, not bad. I like the palette. I like the collection. I'm going to go ahead and use my NARS. It's my, what is it called? So it was the birthday gift from Sephora, but I'm just going to use the lip color that went with it and just give my lips a little bit of a shine really quick as my baby tries to grab it. But anyway, overall, first impression, I am like in love with this eyeshadow palette. I'm in love. I think it looks really good. I think the green base underneath looks good. I mean, I swatched it on my hand. I've washed my hands a few times since I started doing this, and this is not budging. So overall, I mean, this is a win for me. I like the color of green. I like that this isn't a like full on, like, I like that it's a pastel palette, but I like that it has this darker green shade here to really bring the eye look together, and it really looks like it's come together. I feel like if this was a lighter shade, the palette would have not been cohesive. So I really like that. The primer, I like how it dried down. I like that it's cooling, but not overwhelming. And it's got like that mint kind of scent to it, but it's not like so overwhelming that I want to take it off. I mean, and I am definitely on the sensitive side when it comes to scents. So, and even my skin. So, I mean, I'll have to play around with this and see if it does any negative reactions to my skin. But upon first impression, I like it. I think for all four of these items, I only paid about $20 for them. So I am like super excited. I absolutely love the palette, at least the one that I tried today. I'm going to try the other one in another video. But yeah, I would recommend it. If you were looking at the ColourPop Mint palette from, it came out last year, I think that this is actually better. Simply because it's got the deeper shade in it. It's not just all pastels. It's got something to define the eyes. Because that was kind of my fear. Like, I was going to look like I belong in like an 80s movie or something with just pastels. But because of this shade here and because of the shimmers, I think that this is a well-rounded look. And it's still bright. It's a great spring palette. So with that, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And I subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless, and bye, guys.